All right, let's talk about something that, let's be honest, gives a lot of people a headache. Fractions and decimals. But what if I told you they aren't some scary math monster? Stick with me for a bit, and you'll see they're really just two pieces of the same, surprisingly simple puzzle. It really does feel like a classic showdown, doesn't it? In one corner, you've got the fraction, with its top and bottom numbers, and in the other, the decimal, with that kind of mysterious little point. We're pretty much taught to think of them as two totally different things. But what if they aren't enemies at all?
So here's our game plan. We're going to look at each one on its own, and then, this is the main event, we'll uncover their secret connection. And finally, we'll see why this isn't just some problem from math class, but something you actually use every single day. So, let's get into it.
Okay, first up, fractions. And to really get our heads around them, we're going to make this as easy as, well, pi. Or even better, pizza. At its very core, that is all a fraction is. It's just a piece of something bigger. It's not the entire pizza, it's just a few slices. It's not a whole dollar, just the change. So let's actually picture what that means.
Yeah, forget all the abstract math rules for just a second. The absolute key to understanding fractions is something we can all picture perfectly: a pizza. This simple idea makes everything else just clip.
It's really just a simple two-part system. The number on the bottom, that's the denominator, is just the total number of equal slices the pizza is cut into. That's it. The number on top, the numerator, that's how many of those slices we're actually talking about.
So, next time you see a fraction like 3/4 or 3/4, don't let it look intimidating. All it means is you have 3 slices from a pizza that was cut into 4. That's literally it. That's a fraction.
Okay, now for our other contender, decimals. They might look a little more complicated, but as you're about to see, they're just another way of showing, you guessed it, parts of a whole. You know, the real hero of the decimal is that little point. Everything to the left of it is a whole number, like 1 or 10 or 57. And everything to the right of it is just a part of a whole, doing the exact same job as a fraction. And hey, if pizza was the key for fractions, we have an even better one for decimals, something you probably handle every single day: money. This makes the whole concept click, like instantly. I mean, think about it. When you see a price tag, the numbers to the left of the decimal point are the whole dollars, right? The numbers to the right are the parts of the next dollar, the cents. So 0.75 isn't some scary abstract number. Nope, it's just 75 cents. It's just part of a whole dollar. Okay, so fractions are pizza, decimals are money. Now for the really cool part. Let's connect the two and see how these things that seem so different are actually one and the same.
And here it is. This is the big secret. Fractions and decimals are not rivals. They aren't even really separate ideas. They're just two different languages for saying the exact same thing. One isn't better than the other. They're just different ways to write down the same value.
And this is where it all comes together beautifully. Just look at this pattern. 1/4 of a pizza is the fraction 1/4. In money, what is that? It's a quarter, which we write down as the decimal 0.25. See? Half a pizza, or 1/2, that's 50 cents, 0.50. 3/4 of a pizza, 3/4, is 75 cents, 0.75. It is the exact same value, just dressed up different.
So, why does any of this actually matter? Because getting this connection isn't just some neat math trick. It is a practical skill that you're already using every single day, whether you realize it or not. Seriously, your brain is constantly translating between fractions and decimals automatically, without you even having to think about it. You're already an expert. Just think about it for a second. In the kitchen, you use half a cup. At the store, a 25% discount is a quarter off. A baseball player with a .250 batting average gets a hit 1 time in 4. And when you look at your gas gauge, you see you have about 3/4 of a tank. You use this language constantly. So this brings us all the way back to our original question, who would win in a fight? And the answer is neither of them. They aren't fighting. They're partners. They're a team working together to help us make sense of the world around us. And here's a great little rule of thumb. We tend to use fractions for quick visual estimates, like about half a tank of gas. And we use decimals when we need to be precise, like with money or measurements or scientific data. They each have their own moment to shine. So the secret is out. Fractions and decimals are just two sides of the same coin. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? If this supposedly hard math concept was actually this simple all along, what else out there is just waiting to be unlocked with the right perspective?